Welcome back to Let's Help You Grow Now because I'm here to help you grow now. I'm going to be doing a reaction to why everyone forgot about Mosey. Mm.
On top of the world with a viral hit song out of nowhere, even launching his own record label in 2020. However, what also came out of nowhere though was one allegation that ultimately destroyed his career.
My manager walks in and he's like, yo, like, I got some bad news. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, bad news? I'm like, okay, whatever, like, what's up? And then he tells me what happened and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, TMZ's about to post it. I'm like, what do you mean TMZ's about to post it? What is this? Like, what are you talking about?
At the peak of his popularity, Lil Mosey was slammed with one of the most devastating charges a rapper can get. But despite literally facing life in prison, Mosey was able to beat his case and walk away free. So then, why did everybody still move on without him?
Yeah, bro, I remember Lil Mosey, bro. Mosey first came out. I was fucking with him, bro. He had like one or two bangers or whatever the case may be. Um, and that's the downfall as an artist or anybody that's in the entertainment business. That can really destroy your career because clearly you seen he was found innocent. But I'm gonna get to this. It's like this, bro. With him having that guilty on there, it stung his career because I promise you, the negative always gets more attention. Well, I'm not say always, but the majority of the time it gets more attention than the good stuff. So with him being guilty, that was posted on all the blogs. Everybody spreaded it really fast. Everybody talking about it. And he doesn't have a hit song to. Well, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But when he was found innocent a couple of years after that, nobody's talking about it. You feel me? Nobody's talking about it because after he was found guilty, at that point, I mean, not guilty, I'm sorry, after he had the accusation made against him, brands, everybody's moving from you because it's a bad look. And you don't got no hit song. So now we finna get to the hit song part. It's like this. If he even now today, if he was able, especially now since he was found innocent, he needs a hit song. He can come back. He's just gonna have to have. This is the situation where once you get in the game, and I mean get in the game as not as independent on music period, but especially with these labels, you're gonna have to get a hit song. That ass. Like he has no choice but to get a hit song. If you want to be back in the limelight.
How did one of rap's fastest rising stars all of a sudden become forgotten, even after proving his innocence?
I feel like after all the bad things that came on the internet, a lot of the good stuff didn't ever pop back up for people.
And all of a sudden, it just feels like everything comes crashing down.
Crazy feeling, bro. Like having something like that attach to your name is like, that shit ain't nothing to play with. Like that shit fucked me up for a while. Still to this day, like I still don't feel the same. Like
what Lil Mosey was forced to go through at the age of 19 years old was totally wrong and unfair. But although this same bombshell of a headline also led to his undeserved downfall, later in the video we'll learn that Mosey actually looks back on it all as a blessing. So what exactly happened? Well, in order to fully understand the current situation and drama, first we have to take it back a few years. Prior to waking up like the man in the worst freestyle in XXL history, Lil Mosey instead woke up to a $500,000 record deal advance at just 15 years old, all thanks to the success of one song.
the first advance was 500.
500,000?
500,000 straight to my pocket.
And pretty much that came off that one song?
One song.
Oh, you lit there.
One song got me 500K.
Damn.
In a month. I dropped that shit a month later, 500K in my pocket. You see money like that, like you never touch some bread like that, like you don't realize how the shit work. Like I was just like, yeah, lit now. Like I'm in a hotel, I'm in Airbnbs. Like
Lil Mosey's first 3 commercial singles went about as perfect as a new artist could have ever dreamed of, inspired by his favorite early artist Meek Mill, and more specifically Dreams and Nightmares. After releasing his debut commercial single Pull Up in December of 2017, along with a music video released on Elevator, which at the time was a big look, racking up over 25 million views with only its first 16 months, Pull Up would also catch the attention.
That's why you got to think too, because I know they was talking about it now. Granted, especially coming up as an artist like myself, you feel me? It really don't matter when you blow up because it's like, nigga, I know you felt like that, like nigga, what? Because mind you, it's not a lot of artists that blows up, and it's not a lot of artists that can get a hit record. A hit record is actually a hard thing. Just go search as many artists that got a hit record this year or a hit record in the last 5 years. It's like an NBA fucking team. You feel me? Like getting a hit record is not an easy thing to do. It may seem like it, but it's not. If that was the case, you would have a hit record. Fuck. But no, I'm just being real though. Like it's not a fucking easy thing to do. Okay, having a career, yes, you can have a career without ever having a hit record and make it 6 figures plus and live in the life without ever having a hit record. You feel me? But let's get back into it.
Mention of this guy named Tim Glover, who was an A&R at Interscope Records. It caught my attention because it was a young kid in a wild video.
But when he first came out, bro, I remember though. Feel me?
But the fact that he had melodies and he knew his sound, and to do that at such a young age, I immediately was like, we gotta sign this ASAP. Thus, Interscope would agree to a deal with Lil Mosey only one day after his 15th birthday, deciding to then drop out of his 10th grade high school in Seattle and move to LA. However, this was just the beginning.
My mom made me go to school and shit, but once I started growing up a little more, I started shit. Why am I even going to school? So I said, that shit. A month and a half later, the shit went from me in Seattle with like no type of like real motion. A month and a half later, like the shit's out of here.
With the help of a major label now behind him, 2018 was set to be Lil Mosey's breakout year. And to kick things off, came the perfect opportunity to be an opening act for Juice WRLD's World Domination Tour. His second commercial single, Booth Pack, was another success, with this time a music video on World Star Hip Hop. But while all of this was great for Mosey, July of 2018 changed everything.
Like it just felt like they went from Earth to the moon really quickly,
Yeah,
right?
No, that's how it was happening with Lyrical Lemonade. Like, you got a Lyrical Lemonade video, your career has changed forever. Like, that's like Cole was doing that for a lot of people.
As Mosey agrees, back in 2018 during the peak of the SoundCloud era, if you got a music video with Cole Bennett, then your career was changed forever. And Lil Mosey was no exception. Currently sitting at over 320 million views, in July of 2018 came Lil Mosey's breakout hit titled Noticed, Mosey's first ever single to crack the Billboard Hot 100, and also produced by his go-to producer and fellow Seattle native, Royce David, whose producer tag you can hear on just about every one of Lil Mosey's hits.
Hey, Royce, you did right here.
As still the second most streamed song ever of his career, Noticed definitely put Lil Mosey on the mainstream map. However, despite getting noticed though by millions, as we're about to see, sadly Lil Mosey would be forgotten even faster, all because of one girl who made up a lie.
Do you ask in that moment why you?
Of course, I asked that a bunch of times. So why do I have to go through this shit?
But with all of his early tracks going crazy on SoundCloud too at the time, to close out the year of 2018, then came the release of Lil Mosey's debut album, North's Best, including all of his earliest hits on one project, such as Pull Up, Greeter, Kamikaze, and Noticed. Currently certified gold, this project was a solid introduction for Lil Mosey. However, it was 2019 that exploded him to even bigger heights, but of course not without more controversy. Named to the 2019 XXL freshman list, along others notably Gunna, DaBaby, Roddy Ricch, and Megan Thee Stallion, what is set up to be a positive mainstream impression for upcoming artists, instead turned into the complete opposite for Lil Mosey.
Goddamn, I feel like the man. Freshman of the year, I woke up like the man.
Going on to spit what many would call the worst verse ever in XXL history, right up there with Smoke Perp for worst freestyles ever, as countless memes and jokes flooded social media timelines, and some fans going as far as to say he should retire from rapping. It wasn't long before Lil Mosey then tweeted this, owning up to his flaws. Not gonna lie, my freestyle was trash. I don't freestyle as y'all can see. I like to write songs and sing melodies, but I tried and had fun. Y'all memes are hella funny though.
Now, I will say this. I was not crazy about your performance, but I did realize that you were really freestyling. Am I wrong by saying that?
No, you're right. You're right.
So I was like, yo, it wasn't good, but I could tell you were like actually coming off the top of your head.
Yeah, you thought that's how it worked. Like, oh shit, everybody freestyling off the top or whatever.
I mean, it's called freestyle.
So
Right,
how
though.
did
I was coming to
like,
freestyle?
Yeah, because what y'all gotta understand, bro, all jokes aside, I remember that, but all jokes aside, bro, it's really compared to take an artist take a battle rap artist, right? Battle rap, somebody who do battle rap that's good with the bars. You can't pay that artist $1 million to go in the studio and make a good song. For the majority of the part. The majority of them, not all of them, y'all. You'll be like, oh, well, this person did and this person did. Okay, whatever. But for the majority, you're not gonna find a lot of battle rappers that can go in the studio and make a good song. Bro, you're just not. All right. He's just not a good freestyler. He just don't freestyle. He just good at making songs and melodies. Like he said, it's okay to be that type of artist. If you can't freestyle, okay, who gives a fuck? You feel me? Like, now don't go around and be like, you the best, you better than Kendrick Lamar, you better than Drake, you the best MC. Like, I don't want to hear none of that now. But other than that, you good. All right.
I think we'd all agree Lil Mosey cannot freestyle. But yet, as corny as it may sound, when given the chance to take his time and write songs and melodies, Lil Mosey really was a certified hitmaker. And his second album under this same title proved exactly why. At a total of 14 tracks and features from mainstream names including Gunna, Chris Brown, and Trippie Redd, Certified Hitmaker would peak as high as number 12 on Billboard. However, as it stands, Lil Mosey has not dropped a new album since. Quite strange for an upcoming artist who is on such a hot streak. So why has Lil Mosey never put out another album? Well, right before his entire reputation and career buried itself 6 feet deep in the dirt, first arrived the biggest hit of Lil Mosey's life, which, as it turns out though, he never even planned on initially releasing.
I mean, I'm not sure how it got leaked, but it got leaked, and then it was out for like a couple months, like just a leaked song. My label kept taking it down, but then people just kept putting it back up under random names and stuff. At first, I was like, damn, kind of fucking my shit up. But then once it started blowing up and it was trending, I was like, all right, well.
One of the most viral songs of the entire COVID lockdown was actually All in Accident. Prior to its insane 1.5 billion streams on Spotify alone, Lil Mosey's massive hit, Blueberry Faygo, was never going to see the light of day. That was until it got leaked. And let's just say, if you were on TikTok back at this time, you could not escape Blueberry Faygo. Thanks to a viral new dance led by the biggest faces on the app such as Addison Rae and Charli D'Amelio, Blueberry Faygo was literally heard by millions before it ever released. So, to capitalize on the track's unexpected virality, Mosey and his team knew they needed to drop it. Enlisting the help of Cole Bennett one more time, plus an added new second verse from Lil Mosey, released as an official single in February of 2020, not only does Blueberry Faygo remain one of the most viewed music videos to date on Lyrical Lemonade, with even a cameo from Addison Rae herself doing the TikTok dance,
small bands just to take you out real quick.
Peaking at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, with a chart that you can see here will bring back a lot of pandemic nostalgia, Blueberry Faygo would mark Lil Mosey's first and still only Billboard Top 10 hit of his career. But yet, 2020 just kept getting better. Besides his new Krabby Step collaboration with Tyga and Sway Lee for the SpongeBob movie, 2020 also saw the launch of Lil Mosey's own record label named Certified Hitmakers. Now, today it feels like almost every big rapper has their own record label, with smaller artists signed under them, from Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, or Lil Yachty for example. So, in an effort to expand further, Lil Mosey figured he'd try forming one himself.
Of course, Jay Link's my artist that I signed to Certified Hitmaker, and then I signed another artist, One Way Route.
At least back then, signing to Lil Mosey fresh off his top 10 hit was enticing to these young rappers. But as we would soon come to learn, despite revealing this to The Hollywood Fix back in August of 2020,
This is my next song drop. I'm working on a project right now. Working on the album,
What's the name of the album?
Universal.
dropping back-to-back singles real soon, then Universal, Mosey tweeted, 2020 gonna be a big year. While yes, 2020 was definitely huge thanks to Blueberry Faygo exploding, as of this video though, Lil Mosey's project Universal that he was teasing never released. Not to mention too that, as I said, Blueberry Faygo blew up like basically right at the start of the COVID lockdown, and thus, as a result, Lil Mosey was forced to miss out on performing his new smash hit at shows and festivals around the world, like an artist normally would with a fresh top 10 record.
But I couldn't do nothing with the song. I couldn't go perform it. I couldn't do anything, so I missed a lot of that.
However, while this was definitely unfortunate timing, as the year of 2021 then rolled around, performing would be the last of Lil Mosey's concerns. As little did Mosey know that the next 2 years were literally going to be a living hell, sadly leading him down a dark, lonely road of depression and addiction.
Yeah, that whole 2 years, honestly, like, I started just drinking every day, just trying to get my mind off any way I can, so like...
And at least as it initially appeared, Blueberry Faygo's opening lyrics where Mosey raps "one bad chick and she do what I say so," it looked like these lyrics were going to age like milk. On April 22nd, 2021, this TMZ headline was published, which shook everything. Rapper Lil Mosey charged with wanted by cops in Washington. Completely unknown to Mosey, who was chilling in Miami when this went public, this all stemmed back to an alleged incident where a woman says she and a girlfriend went to a cabin to see Mosey, but claims they ended up getting R-worded by him and another man.
Like, I didn't know I was getting charged with anything until like TMZ posted it.
No way, really?
I woke up in Miami. I was in Miami.
According to official court records, a girl says that she attended a party held by Mosey with another girl at a cabin in Washington, but then, at one point during the night, someone brought out White Claw hard seltzers and champagne for the girls to drink, and that's when things got out of hand, at least according to this unknown girl. The woman told police that she did not remember much after drinking the champagne, but did remember walking up in an upstairs bedroom in her underwear.
Also, unknown girl, bro. When people, whether it's true or not, bro, in this situation, it was not true. So we gotta defend it. Do a little Mosey like that. But when motherfuckers make accusations, bro, you need to put them out. Because let's just say if it is true, right? You need to stand on that, let your story be known. You feel me? And there you go. But especially if they're lying, they need to be prosecuted too. Because it's nothing. Like, why is you making up something like that on somebody, bro? Like, it's crazy.
And later, someone telling her that there was a video of her doing the deed. Then, after interviewing the other girl who was there that day, she told detectives that she remembered Mosey getting into their car and pulling his pants down. She admitted to having consensual activity together, but after that though, quote, her memory gets fuzzy, and the next thing she remembers is waking up to being taken advantage of. She told detectives she had injuries that she could not explain, including bruises on her arm, neck, and inner knee, and after hearing this, Lil Mosey was ordered to be detained to face charges of second degree. If convicted, Lil Mosey faced a maximum of life in prison. I was in disbelief a little bit. Mosey said of the moment he found out via TMZ, like the rest of us, it didn't really seem real to me. I started getting phone calls, and that's when it hit me. Like, okay, this shit's happening.
Did you think you're gonna have to like go through a whole trial and stuff like that?
Well, when I heard the story and like I'm hearing what she was saying, I'm like, what? Like, and then the lawyers are telling me like this shit sounds crazy. Like, honestly, like you probably won't have to go through this for that long. Like, there's no way. Like, this story just is crazy. Like, there's no way like you could even. Like, so I'm thinking like the whole time, I'm like, okay, like in a month, like I'll be good. And I'll be back like doing what I need to do.
Despite Mosey thinking that everything would pass over smoothly in about a month or so, not only would this case stretch over 2 entire years, however, worst of all, although a lifelong prison sentence would certainly put an end to his surging rap career, before the jury's verdict was ever even decided though, in court, the majority of the internet had already made up their mind about Lil Mosey.
You know, as a man, an accusation of that caliber, nobody cares to be like, is this person lying? Is this thing true? Let's see this through and see like if they instantly already make up their mind, right? I was like, this is gonna ruin this young man. It's vindicated that he's innocent.
Shaking my head, to no surprise, Lil Mosey is just another disgusting rapper, reads this viral tweet. We all saw this coming, typed another user. Like academics said, considering just how serious of an accusation, let alone a charge for the R-word is, as soon as social media sees this headline, most people are going to tune out Lil Mosey forever. And with the hate train piling up during what too was about the peak of cancel culture on the internet, was this actually the end of Lil Mosey? Lil Mosey's court trial began in February of 2023, and the very first chance he got, Mosey pleaded not guilty, along with also passing 2 polygraph tests with flying colors. 1 month later, on March 2nd, 2023, it was then announced that Lil Mosey had officially been found not guilty. As you could guess, this was obviously a huge relief for Lil Mosey. Spent 2 years of my life going through the storm, and I'm happy to say that God finally brought the truth to light. Thank you, Mosey wrote in a since-deleted Instagram post. Now clear of all charges and narrowly avoiding a lifelong prison sentence, the stage was now set for Lil Mosey to make a comeback. However, despite proving his innocence in court, we are still left with one question. By this point, is it too late? Although we're about to see exactly how the internet responded to Mosey's attempt at a comeback, including Trippie Redd, who brought him out on stage just 1 day after his trial, one thing was for sure. This entire case took a major toll on Lil Mosey's mental health.
It's tough because I mean I didn't know the best way to deal with it. And, like I didn't know like if I should like go on the internet and be like this wasn't me like and like so I just did the first thing I could think of and I just deleted Instagram and I was like I just gotta stay away from this. And I didn't leave my house for like 2 months. I didn't leave my house. And then the first time I left my house I was like just forget where I was. But then like people started yelling some shit at me and I was like damn. Like so I went back in the house. I didn't come out for like another 2 weeks.
In addition to spiraling down a dark path of drinking anything to try and take his mind off everything. Mosey also says that he never left his house, just alternating between playing Call of Duty and Fortnite inside all day for 2 months straight, to the point where he even stopped recording new music for a while. Right when that shit happened, I isolated myself. I didn't know what the world or the people around me was gonna say. I was scared for that. But the truth of the matter is though, even after being found not guilty, Lil Mosey has still had to fight to prove his innocence.
It was a party, so it was a lot of people. There was like 30, 40 people there. And yeah, and like I wasn't even near the situation that happened. And so like
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't. So it's like my name just got brought up into it. And
Lil Mosey's career has been a roller coaster of ups and downs. Yet, in an effort to begin the rebuild of his crumbled reputation, just one day after his verdict was announced to the world in March of 2023, fans were able to catch their first glimpse of Lil Mosey when Trippie Redd would actually bring him out as a special guest at Rolling Loud Cali to perform his hit track Blueberry Faygo in front of the largest crowd since the song blew up.
I got some guests popping out tonight. I wanted to make Rolling Loud LA special. You know I got my friends out here, man. Run that shit. Let's get it.
Hey. It's been a while. It's been a long while. But that felt amazing. Rolling Loud. Make some f***ing noise! Hey man, shout out Trippie Redd, man. You know the vibes, man.
However, despite claiming that quote, felt amazing, deep down inside, Lil Mosey actually felt the exact opposite. Once again dealing with heavy anxiety due to his whole situation, as he would later explain to academics.
And so when the shit was over and I was trying to get back into just being an artist, it wasn't easy. Like I couldn't even hop on a plane without like tweak. I was just like the craziest anxiety, the craziest like
anxiety, everything
super overwhelmed. Like everything was super overwhelming. So just trying to do anything, like just interviews and shit. I just wasn't like ready for it. Even shows, like I was turning down Rolling Loud, turned down Lyrical Lemonade. Like people were hitting me up trying to do stuff, but I just couldn't handle it. I just wasn't like there. Like Trippie brought me out. Rolling Loud was like the same weekend the verdict happened or whatever, and Trippie brought me out, and it was just so like I was just like could barely do it. Like
and to make Mosey's day-to-day life even tougher, after being found not guilty in court, Lil Mosey decided to make the positive decision and get sober, quitting every single substance he was on. So then you add in withdrawals he struggled with. After losing basically 2 years of momentum as an artist, Lil Mosey's entire focus was not on his rap career. However, that doesn't mean he didn't still put out music. As the first release following his trial arrived Lil Mosey's new single, Flu Game, in March of 2023.
So I called it Flu Game because Michael Jordan, one of his most iconic games, he played and he had the flu. So I feel like the last 2 years I've been kind of like a sickness.
But besides this single though, which received very mixed reactions, it was clear that there was more drama going on behind the scenes, this time between Mosey and his label. And then finally, in December of 2023, Lil Mosey made this announcement to fans on Instagram.
Finally got released from my label. Look, we're going independent, staying independent. That means I own my shit. That means I can do what I want when I want. So I wanted to wait till I had some good news. So I've been real quiet. I ain't been doing too much. So now I'm independent. No label, just me.
Explaining that he was independent now and on his own, likely hiding the fact that his label low-key dropped him. That wouldn't last long though, because following his split from Interscope Records in 2024, it was revealed that Lil Mosey had signed a new distribution partnership with Sync Music Group. And to finally end a nearly year-long hiatus of not dropping music, which is also a big reason why the mainstream simply forgot about Lil Mosey, as his first release under Sync Music then came Mosey's new single, Life Goes On. However, instead of his usual melodic hip-hop and rap genre that we're all used to, as you can see, this track is actually a pop song. One disaster after the next. Read the opening lyrics. I'm not complaining, I'm just stressed.
The way the song starts, I'm saying like one disaster after the next. I'm not complaining, I'm just stressed, because like just the last year, I would say, like the last few years, I was just going through like a lot mentally.
You said Olivia Rodrigo inspired your new music.
Yeah. So I was just trying to find like other things out there that like might inspire me. And I was listening to her last album. And I was listening to it like every day. I was like, with it. So I was like, I want to try some shit like this.
Taking inspiration from pop megastar Olivia Rodrigo, combined with stating that his new clean lifestyle simply no longer lines up with the stuff he used to rap about. As Lil Mosey has continued releasing one-off singles, Life Goes On is by no means his only attempt at switching things up. With more pop releases such as his latest single, Selfish, despite his attempts at a big comeback, including trying to livestream now on Twitch, although his small core fanbase will always ride for him, the truth is, after catching an R-word charge for something he didn't do, and then being forced to disappear for 2 years to deal with it, as unfair as it is, unfortunately, it makes sense why the mainstream forgot about Lil Mosey, who has tried his best to find any positives in the situation.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna say my situation was any worse than anybody else's, but when you're in front of like the whole world and then something like that happens and they start calling you something that you're not, like it definitely feels like a million times like worse than like anything I could imagine. But it was a blessing in disguise. Like at first obviously I didn't think it was like something I needed. But then I like there was a lot of things I learned from it and like things that I would like better myself.
As his attorney states, Lil Mosey did not deserve to ever be prosecuted. The woman who made those false accusations never faced any consequences of her own. However, the damage has already been done to Lil Mosey's career. Although still young at only 23 years old, as we know, the internet moves extremely fast, and for most people, as soon as they heard what he was accused of, they honestly left and never came.
Yeah, there's millions of people out there right now that don't know that Lil Mosey has been found not guilty. Promise you. And because of that, stop messing with them altogether. That's how this shit goes. Feel me? But y'all comment below what y'all think about the situation. Would y'all give Lil Mosey another chance? Do y'all feel like he can make a comeback? He's gonna have to go back to hip hop though if he can make a comeback. Like, okay, you have a hip hop song, you can come back to hip hop. Definitely do the pop songs though, but still, just to get your mind together, but still come back to hip hop.
Don't you see me right now, baby girl? I'm on the grind. I ain't really got no time to waste time. Baby, I'ma shine.